Your mask fell off right in my hands. Saw your disguise, saw who you really am. I gave my heart, but I'm not gonna cry. Your truth will be out there under those eyes. The public will see when your stories collide. I'll just sit back, watch it all happen when I leave tonight. I'm not the first, won't be the last in your little obsession, but I swear to God I will leave that lasting impression. You kiss like a promise, you talk like a friend, but you break good people like it's some kind of trend. I'm not your fool, I'm not your tool. You spin your tales, I walk away cool. I gave my heart, but I'm not gonna cry. Your truth will be out there under those eyes. The public will see when your stories collide. I'll just sit back, watch it all happen when I let her leave tonight. One day they'll rewind all the hurt you designed, every sweet little script, every truth that you flip. And I'll be long gone, headlights in the dark, but my name on your tongue like a brand on your heart. I gave my heart, but I'm not gonna cry. Your truth will be out there under those eyes. The public will see when your stories collide. I'll just sit back, watch it all happen when I leave tonight. I'll just sit back, watch it all happen when I leave tonight.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing great this Sunday night. This is a show that I had not planned on ever wanting to do. Never thought I would be doing this show or this kind of show, but this has been, I guess, much longer overdue than I even realized myself. And I hope everyone understands what I'm going to be showing you, bringing you tonight. I don't have screenshots. I don't have a whole lot of evidence. I have my own personal experience that I'm bringing out. Over the last few months, few weeks, I have questioned my role in the online community. This is so difficult for me, and I want everyone to understand that this is not something that I have taken lightly, but it is something that needs to be said and needs to be done and shared with every single one of you. specifically the people that are following Mike in Abnormal Investigations. He is not a good person. He is not who he makes himself out to be. He has not been honest with his followers. He has not been honest with his moderators. He has not been honest with his family. And he sure as heck has not been honest with me. And I am more than positive that he is going to spin this narrative in some way, shape, or form that I was smitten and in love with him and I didn't get my way. And this is why, because I am a vindictive, scorned woman. Because everybody's always heard him say, scorned women, right? I have laughed off many times the things that he has said about women. I have allowed things to be said and let go because I try to rationalize things that maybe I'm overthinking things. But when he makes comments in general conversations like all women are whores, it cuts deep and you can't ignore it. I have phone recordings over the last couple of days of Michael talking about how he wanted to turn things around and be blamed on his sister Rhonda. I have screenshots and recordings of how he talks about his sister Sarah and his daughter. And I have things that I, again, would have never thought I would ever want to put out there. But over the last couple of days, me seeing things that have come through, I couldn't sit and watch viewers and subscribers on his channel continue to talk about how honest he was and how straightforward he was and how great of a guy he was. It was eating me alive. And if the truth will set you free, then this is my free, because I consider tonight to be my final and last. This will be my last show, everyone. I have no doubt. Like I said, this is not something that I took lightly. I have struggled with this very hard over the last few days. But when I have to listen to him talk about how he is ready and willing to, and waiting to watch other channels destroy each other and then turn around and blame it on innocent people, it hurts. Do I believe that Rhonda was behind all of this stuff anymore? I question my own reality, because I have confessions of my own that I need to make. I am John Smith. I created that count in December of 2024. The reason being is because Mike has a way of making people feel like they, out of sympathy, out of pity, out of uh, loyalty, um, just the need to help because they feel bad for him, they want to help him. He has a way of making people do things. In fact, one of the things that he really enjoyed saying was, if you make a woman feel important, she'll do pretty much anything for you. And no, I'm not I'm, I guess he got the memo. I'm not stopping the live stream, Mike. So you might as well give up. Stop calling me. Um, so yes, back to that. He has a way of making people feel like they are obligated to do things for him. Like I said, make a woman feel important. She'll do anything that you want her to. But yet, he has no qualms with talking crap about women and saying whatever he wants about women and jokes about it. Um, so yes, John Smith was created in December to have a platform to basically go after the people that he didn't care for, that he didn't like. And I went along with it. And that is my that is my confession. That is my mistake. And I should have never done that. The John Smith group has been taken down and put back up several times because of things that I couldn't deal with, and the stress levels and the constant phone calls and bombarding from Mike. When I say he would keep me up all hours of the night, um, some of the mods even know that this is the kind of stuff that he would do. And there are some people that actually know when I lost my job in February, I have no doubt that it was because I was not able to focus on my job. I was not able to focus on the things that I needed to do. And he would call constantly, even while I was at work. I would be distracted at work and I was not able to focus. I was not able to get good night's sleep. All summer, I have not been able to sleep. Um, excuse me, 1 second. I have to change my earpiece. Hold on. Okay, I apologize for that. Um, I'm sorry. I'm trying to not necessarily watch chat too at the same time, but uh, no, but thank you. Okay, so continuing on, um, I wanted to make sure that everybody is aware. Over the recent last couple of days, I've also discovered and confirmed that yes, there have been hoaxing going on during his boots on the ground. It has also been brought to my attention that although I had been kept out of the loop and unaware, his moderators were aware. In particular, he stated that Sharon Guy and Pam Singleton both were well aware of what was going on and had been for a while. If this is not true, then I'm sorry. That is what he had actually stated, and I have the phone conversations recorded to actually share that with you. I also have phone conversations that go on to talk about how he is not out there on his own. He can't be out there on his own. The voices, the EVPs that are coming through that are often the exact same EVPs and voices almost on a regular basis. He states that these are from other people that have been going out there with him, walking beside him, distractions that he passes off as Bigfoot noises or other things walking in the woods. It makes me question and wonder the sticks, the branches, the rocks that are thrown at him too. What are those? I am more than willing to play these recordings and let everybody hear from his own mouth if there is any question. I bet you do have that conversation, Mike. And please don't block any of this. The StreamYard link is there if you do want to come on. And I know I'm going to catch absolute hell for this, but I want to make sure, yes, Lisa Ann, I want to make sure that this isn't for me. And I want you guys all to know this. This is not for me. This is for the people like Catherine. This is for the people like Belinda and Lisa Ann who have been questioned and made to feel like they are losing their minds and put on, Lisa Ann especially, you caught so much hell from him, and I stood behind him as he sat there and put you in this corner to make you choose who you would follow and who you would back. I'm doing this for the Gary Carpenters. I'm doing this for Graces. I'm doing this for the Deannas. I'm doing this for every single one of those viewers who have been following him and have never questioned and have just said, yes, he's telling the truth. He's not telling the truth. And this is why I'm putting this out there. I have the recordings where he's talking about how he wants to turn, like I said, turn stuff from one fight into another and use it to blame Rhonda. I just don't know. Besides the hoaxing, it goes into the sexual manipulation that has happened. I do not know how many women out there have been enticed by him or made to feel uncomfortable by him. But I absolutely did feel like I loved him. Yes, absolutely. And in fact, at one point, I even told him, if this is not, he said, I need to get to know you. I need to be friends. Okay. I said, until you give me some type of a sign, I will back off. And that sign came in February of 2025 when I was on. You have recordings. I have recordings too, Mike. When I was on the cruise and he decided to make further advances. And recently, in an argument that we had, he turned that conversation around to make it seem like if sunshine, hold on, I gotta see this. You're not the first plant Josh put sunshine. Sunshine. Oh, sunshine. That is that right there is the other angle that I knew was going to happen. Janice Blake, we all know how bad you are madly in love with Mike, to the point in which you have stated over and over again how much you would actually do anything in your power to destroy anyone that would hurt him because you loved him. He's read me those text messages too. You want to be his Harlequin? You two deserve each other. Absolutely. The mental instability that you both have is beyond me. So to say that I'm a plant by Josh, you are so delusional. And yes, Mike, you have the recordings. That's great. I think that's funny because you actually said at one point that you would never record me. Never say never. But I can play the recordings too. Just wait for your show. It's okay. Here we go. Shell, I'll bring you on in just one moment. I just want to get through this one other part. So the conversation that had happened recently was in regards to him being upset with me. There were, and I can go through that. I have all night. I have all night long to go through this. It was in regards to me coming out and doing a boots on the ground. Because after all, everybody wanted to see me come down and do a boots on the ground. And how that turned out was I couldn't come down because he's not allowed to be around other women. And I think I just lost Ginny. I couldn't come down because I'm not allowed. He's not allowed to be around other women. And I call bluff on that one, considering just because you're going through a custody battle or whatever, it doesn't mean that you can't be around another person. Belinda, Mike has a virus. Oh, I bet Mike has a virus. That's what you want to call it. Mike has a virus called he hates women. That's his virus. He thinks all women are pieces of crap, pieces of shit. He's talked shit about both of his sisters. He's talked shit about his daughter. He's talked crap about his mom. Going back, recently, the argument came up because I was stating that I was going to try and book something to come down for a boots on the ground, and he became very upset, and then turned it into he doesn't want anything to do with me, and that he doesn't want a relationship with me, and why can't I get it through my head? And I went over and over again and said that this has nothing to do with me wanting a relationship. I said, you want to bring your son home, you want to boost your boots on the ground, you need somebody down there to collab. You need a second person. So why can't I come down? Well, you can't come down because I'm not in a relationship with you, and I don't want to be in a relationship with you, and I can't be around other women. So you're telling me that because I don't have a penis, I'm not allowed to come down and do a work type collaboration with you for your channel. It would be no different than a job. So you can't go into an office and work a job with another female. You have your mom. Should I play that? I don't understand. You're more than welcome. Come on. You say you don't have a voice. My brother? What about that? Oh, you have recordings of that? Go on. Bring it. That's fine, Mike. What I'm doing, it's not going to stop. All it's doing is showing how vindictive you are back. You're trying to get me to stop. You're not going to threaten me. I already told you. When this is done, my channel's done. That's the way I looked at it. I wasn't planning on going big with this. I didn't want to make this channel big in the first place. So the thing is that he turned this around on me to try and make it look like I was all about the relationship with him, and that that I was doing this because he told me no. And I said, is that what you're telling your moderators? Is that what you're spreading to the moderators and already sending this stuff out there, that I am this like crazed person that is so in love with you, and that way when crap turns around, you can just turn this around on me? And no, that's not what I'm doing. And but yet he has this way of manipulating people. I asked him today what he wanted from me. Does he want me on the show? Does he not want me on the show? He says, take a break. I said, because up until just recently when I saw the games that he was playing, he would say, take a break. And I would say, I'm not going to take a break. I am here behind you 100% no matter what. But today, when I said, what do you want from me? He couldn't answer that. He kept turning it around. And he couldn't tell me what he wanted. He will never tell you, ladies, what he's looking for. He will make you think that you are being the one to come forward and do something for him out of the kindness of your heart, because he needs that help. He has photos of so many women. I kid you not, he would gloat about it. He gloated about the photos that he got from Bettina. He gloated about the photos that he had from his other co-hosts. Speaking of other co-hosts, it makes me wonder. There have been several co-hosts, several moderators who have reached out to me as well, and have told me about the things that he talked about with them and the things that were shared, including photos that were shared with him. So when I say that in February 25th, or February of 25, he made that step to make it seem like he was advancing and wanted to discuss something further. It was when he actually video chat his penis at me that I thought, this is interesting. Okay, he wants something more. After all, if you're going to do something like that with somebody that you have been friends with and talking to and knows that that person has an interest in you, that's not something that you would just think is nothing. I don't know. I'm sorry, Anthony, you just can't help yourself. Now you're banning everyone who's agreeing with Jessica. Anthony, please don't start anything. I'm not going after PRT. I'm not going after Bart. I'm not going after anybody else. I'm trying to put the information out there, and I really just don't want any fighting in the chat. Please. All right, Shell, I'm bringing you on. Shell, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Just to show of support here for Jess, I was one of the first people, I don't know how many there are, to experience Mike coming at them sexually. And for that reason, I used to be a fan of his show.
Hold on. At least she's okay. Please don't come after Clough. Clough has been a huge support. I would not be doing this tonight right now if it wasn't for Clough. So please, please, you guys, do not come after him. Again, I would not be here right now pushing this forward if it wasn't for Clough helping me and showing me the support. There have been four very vital people in this, and I would please, I don't know what has been said. I've been trying to focus on it, but please don't go after him. Okay, thank you, Shell.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, please, for the sake of everybody and for us to get through this and bring you the truth and tell you what you need to know, you're going to have to be a little patient. I know there's a lot of people in chat that don't rub elbows good together, and me included. There's people I don't rub elbows with here. And I'm showing respect to everyone, and I just ask that you all do the same. Be a little bit adult here, and let's get through this. As I was stating, I was one of those people back 3-4 years ago when Josh first had a problem with Mike. I had gotten accused by Josh of coming on his channel. I'd never been in a live channel. I'd never talked. I didn't do it. And I showed Josh a screenshot. I said, here, look at my Gmail accounts. This is me. I said, is that the person you seen? He's like, no. He said, but I'm having problems with this guy named Mike. And he probably made up another fake account. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. It's got nothing to do with me. And I went on. I had been a follower of Mike early on, I think before Josh even come on, him giving his reports and stuff. I thought it was very professional. I shared weekly or however many times he'd go on, I would share it to my group. Like, these reports are really cool. But then all the drama had started with his channel. I didn't pay any attention to it. I just didn't go back to it. Then I got accused, and that was Josh coming at me. And I was like, I don't know anything about this. Well, talking to Josh over the last 4 days, I realized too, I guess Mike had said I did the same way back then. So somebody was on YouTube using my name. I didn't have time for it. I've always kept my nose down, done my own work, went to the grindstone with doing all of my boots on the ground and stuff. And I didn't worry about these YouTube wars. I never have. I've never really grown my YouTube channel because of that, because I didn't want to get involved in all this kind of drama. But I have grown my Facebook and things like that I had more control and I didn't have to watch over it constantly or get into some battle with something. So back to the story here. Mike approached me a few months after Josh came to me. So he went to my family account, sent me a message, and said, hello. And I said, hello. I said, he goes, do you know who I am? And I said, yes, I do know who you are. I said, this is my family account. I don't speak of cryptids here. It's just, if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on my cryptid account. This is not the place for it. He proceeded with getting kind of sexually flirty. And I said, sir, I'm going to assert myself one more time. I'm not on Facebook to hook up. Please exit yourself. And I blocked him from that account. Well, let's skip a few years ahead because I didn't pay attention to any of that. I rubbed elbows with Josh. I had a few arguments with Josh, but it was nothing gigantic, which Josh has also said that. It's nothing gigantic between him and I, but there's just been some tiffs. And I think if it was left to just me and Josh, I think we could have ironed them out, but a lot of other people get involved and things get out of hand. Well, Dana comes to me, Dana Ortega, and she had said, Shell, you really need to watch this girl, Jess. She's really good. I went on, I watched first live I really ever sat through where I could chat and stuff. And I thought Jess was really, really cool. She's doing it. That's good. I don't see many other women go out there alone and do it and bring it. And she's doing that. And I support that. Well, through them convincing me, give Mike a second chance. He was in a bad spot back then, whatever. And at the same time, Bart and I are friends. Everybody knows that. And so I also learned in the last couple of days that I was considered Team Bart and that he friended me, Mike friended me and allowed me and stuff because I had been supportive to Mike or to Dana, and I had been supportive to Barton. So he accepted my friendship and I followed his lives, and through which, Jess had encouraged me to, join it and everything. And I did. And at first I was like, I was enjoying them. But then I started noticing some consistencies. So this is coming from a professional view of somebody that's done this for decades. Okay. I go out there almost nightly for decades, people. I have never had EVPs, not when it comes to the cryptids. And I don't play with paranormal. I'm strictly about the cryptids. And I wouldn't be the only one I've had all kinds of equipment out there when we worked on my documentary. We had everything, EVP detectors, EMF detectors, you name it. We did it all and never received an EVP at all. So watching these shows consistently, I hear the same EVP over and over that has been in other shows from different locations. That started sending up red flags to me. So I started sitting quiet on it and just listening and just paying attention. In the meantime, I was made a moderator for Mike's Abnormal. I accepted it. There was some argument that I don't even know happened, and I was unmoderated. Well, since then, all kinds of rumors have come to me that all of Mike's mods dislike me. They all have a problem with me. But it's funny how all these mods I have individual relationships with on Facebook, and at various different times have talked to them via the messenger or phone. I have had conversations with them. None of them have ever spoken of Mike. I mean, it's just not a topic we've even talked about. They've always been nice people. And I don't believe anything he says about the mods hating me. And that be the reason that he came to Jess, and Dana is the witness to this. Jess was smart enough to get a witness to this. He doesn't like her being friends with me. Well, why would you not want to be friends with me? Why would he push that? Why would he just hate the idea of her being a friend to me? For one, I will be a woman to stand up to any kind of sexual abuse or advances. And I would help Jess in that regard if she come to me and told me she was having problems. Eventually, Jess did confide in me, but it had nothing to do with all that. It was, I started talking to Jess and I said, hey, I think that there's something going on in his lives. I believe there's some hoaxing. And she went on.
By the way, he says, Shell, I have recordings of Jesse bashing you. Hey, Shell, let me play something. Can I?
No, sure.
Like that, but she can't be like fighting and stuff.
Oh, so like in other words, she's not supposed to be
Oh, wait, this is
doing
about
things in Discord groups
Janice
and
Blake.
getting the old ladies group excited.
Shouldn't be.
Mm.
Yeah, she's funny as fuck. But yeah, she sent me some. She wouldn't send me everything, not because she don't trust me, but she's afraid that it might be a cybercrime because some of it's got her tits in it and stuff.
This is in
Oh
regards
my
to
God.
him. This is in regards to him asking Janice to send him stuff about Wendy Guazdala for this specific show tonight.
Mm. How would that be a cybercrime? It was stuff that was.
It's sharing pornography, she said. She didn't want to get in trouble for that. She said that would be bad.
Oh, so Mike, by the way, all of those photos that you have of all of the other women that may have been scared that you might turn around and share it out, that we now know that you actually have cybercrime. You said it yourself.
Because she said you're not allowed to share new photos of people without their consent because that's a big no-no.
So, in other words, like the shit that Bettina sent to Josh, or that was sent to Josh, for him to turn around and try and.
And I understand that I was talking about Josh in this aspect, but apparently Bettina sent the photos to Mike too. He has actually stated that several times over. And I wanted him to keep talking.
Use that against Bettina.
You can go to prison, yeah. I looked it up. It's big deal to share any nudes of anybody.
So at that point, why would anybody keep that stuff?
Well, there's always dirty ways to do it.
What,
if
you mean
you're
like
a bad person.
Huh?
If you're a really bad person,
Or
there's
somebody
ways to use it.
or somebody just really pisses you off?
Well, no, because you wouldn't want to go to prison for somebody who's, I mean, nobody's worth that, but I mean, there's ways that people can use it against you and not get in trouble.
Yeah, like pass it on to somebody like Hector, who would then put it on his OnlyFans page, right?
Somebody that lives in a country that doesn't fall underneath America
Yeah, Hector.
laws.
Yeah, Hector.
Right. But then you would have to do it to where it couldn't be proven that you sent it if they tried to show that you sent it.
Mm.
Let me zoom ahead a little bit.
Yeah, but now you're sick, so it's only
That came through the phone.
It says I'm still on.
Attacking anybody for once in his long career of
I was talking about Josh and how
PRT.
he has
What the
managed
fuck
to
is going on with that?
not be attacking anybody.
I don't know.
Right.
Maybe he's turned a new leaf and has realized it. But I think if everybody were to just stop the fighting, stop the constant trying to cause drama, things would be so much better. And none of this shit would have happened with you and your son.
Yep.
Bless you.
That ain't gonna happen though. Just what Clough said. Josh ain't done. He's just regrouping.
By the way, everything that he always says when he says that's what so-and-so says, I now question. Because like I said, he's blamed stuff on moderators too. So I don't know. I don't know what he says anymore that's true. I don't know if he's ever said anything that's true. But I do have to say, he said right off, when we first started talking, he said he is a liar. He does lie. And that way, when things come around and I ask why he lied, he can always say, well, I told you I was a liar. But the difference is, it might have been cute when Captain Jack Sparrow quoted pirate in Pirates of the Caribbean, but what he has done to me, his moderators, his supporters, his family, it's not cute.
I
Oh, his hate for
don't
women
think
just
Josh
downright
has a
comes.
choice but to back Hellbent Holler.
It is. It is sick.
Because they're very tied together.
And this
Of
is where he
course,
talks.
Nevaeh's Angel says she thinks this may be the fall of PRT. Because she says a lot of PRT's people are Hellbent Holler people. So if Josh doesn't back Hellbent Holler, there could be another split in the community again. You're going to have people for Hellbent Holler say, fuck Josh, he didn't help. And you're going to have another split. Josh can't afford too many big splits like that and still survive. You know, even Clough said Josh went from whenever, before me and him fought, from an 800 to over 1,000 people show to now 300 and 400.
Right.
Now imagine if Josh takes another split from another big show, because Hellbent's pretty big. They carry big lives. That could put Josh down to a 200 people show, which monetarily wise, that really is going to hurt him. And if you listen to him talk about his Patreon and his members only videos, he's not getting people to come over and watch them. He's bitching about it all the time. People are not doing it. He's having trouble filling his chats on his members and Patreon only.
Sorry, as you can all see,
What were you
yes,
saying?
I have been talking with Rhonda.
I don't
I
think
didn't
Josh can survive another big split. His only choice would be to say, I back you.
have a chance at this time to edit those out, but at this point,
But I am excited about one thing.
like I said, I don't think
I want to
Rhonda
see what this big staple is that Hellbent Holler says they're going to release. It's going to destroy Barton and Roger. Evidently, they have something big, like really big, if they say it's going to destroy them. And that's why Roger and Barton are really upset, because they're supposed to release it in their movie. And they're saying it came from somebody that Barton and them would never suspect. Has Martin Groves fucking fucked them?
You know, okay, I'm not here, and I just saw some of these other ones. I'm not here to bash and make fun of anybody for Tracy Stevens. This is not why I'm here putting this information out here. I'm trying to explain that there have been things that have been going on. Mike has not been honest with people. Mike has put people in positions to make them feel like they need to attack. For example, Nancy Swecker, one of his moderators last night, was so upset about a post that was put in the John account, The Truth for Mike, that Mike had her going so hard over it that she was making posts make it look like she was an aloe to scare Rhonda. And what happened, Shell, when you talked to her?
Well, there's so much, there's so many aspects and so many sides coming into this. For weeks I've been watching and just absorbing. One of the things that I do know is that he will incite people. Last night I was approached with one of his other moderators, him wanting me to go incite some anger into Rhonda. I don't know Rhonda. I only commented to Rhonda on things that were on this channel that you exposed. I don't know this person. I know she's a sister. And from everything that I've been seeing, everything that I've been watching, a lot of the attacks were incited by him either messaging her or, increasing posts. But then to come to people like myself that he didn't want people to be friends with, but he wanted me to follow his channel. He wanted to accuse me and Bart of being some team of our own against him and Josh. Isn't crazy, just crazy. Bart's just a friend of mine. I've known him since 2006. I don't pick sides and teams and stuff like that. It's so playgroundish and so childish. And that's all I've seen out of this is a childish man that is trying to go after views, trying to compete with somebody else, trying to be as big as they are, trying to fight with his sister, trying to make this person mad, and all the while using people that he collects. And I became one of those people, not knowing that behind my back, he's talking bad about me. Now, here in the chat, he says Jess was slandering me or being nasty in a conversation with him to complain about me. I don't doubt that, Jess. I don't doubt that he probably had you so provoked and in a mind's way of thinking that you were blinded into agreeing with him or whatever his perceptions were. You would just agree to go along with it because you don't want to deal with what the outcome is. What is the outcome going to be? It's going to be him flirting with somebody in his own life. When he sits there and plays those lives that aren't live, they're just reruns. It's just the platform for him to sit there and flirt with other people. I stand by and watch it. Sometimes I'm not even saying hello in that chat, just sitting back watching. And I'll tell you, I got the screenshots and everything else. Do you want to see them? I'm not going to say those other women's names because they don't realize they're being preyed upon. This man, everything that I've seen is lies, manipulations, and once again, we're right back to manufactured drama to get everybody paying attention to him, to get everybody going to his show, get those numbers up. To the point that he doesn't like me, from what I hear, but yet in the last 2-3 weeks, how many times has he wanted me on his show or put me on his show or just click me in right in the middle when I was, I might have been doing something else. Oh, we're going to bring Shell on, Hey, you know what? I helped the guy. I thought I was doing the right thing. I also was in the back of my mind, knowing everything that I've experienced with him, not 100% trusting him. And I'm glad I didn't, because if I did, I would be kicking my own ass. Because I don't like that. I don't like being blindsided. And I feel extremely, extremely sorry that this has happened to you, Jess. And I would support you and your channel in any way because I think you're 100. I think you have integrity. I think you always come with the truth. Even when it's killing you, even when it hurts you, you will stand up and say the truth. And to me, that gives you credibility. It gives your channel credibility. And you standing up to somebody that's been manipulating you just like all of the rest of us, you know what? You go, girl. You go.
Like I said, this is not something that I ever thought I would be doing or that I wanted to do or this is not something I ever thought I would be in a position to do. This is not something I take lightly.
Well, if anybody's a good person, I don't think they do. I don't think anybody goes live on YouTube and calls people out unless they have adequate evidence, they have adequate experience. And honest to God, you took a chance here. You could literally have committed your own social media suicide by coming out against somebody as big as Mike and with
That's
all the reach of all the women he has. My God, you know what? I sit and watch his lives, and 98% of them are women. And you know what? A lot of them get flirted with.
why does he like to flirt with the older married women? Because there's a conquest about it. That he will flirt with the older, he will flirt with the married, because there is a conquest in it. And the other, the, I, the disgusting part is the fact that I sat there and let him degrade me and laugh about it, even on shows, when he would talk about, oh, nothing worse than a scorned woman, right? Um, but to sit there and joke and say all women are whores, and then, oh, well, you're the exception. Yeah, all women are whores. Well, what about your mom? What about your sister? What about your daughter? Your daughters? That was how he talked all the time. He would make disgusting sexual jokes about women. And I lied. I lied on my show and said that he never talked bad about women. And I felt terrible about it. But I thought I was just gonna be doing okay. Just let it go. It would be fine.
I have a question, Jess.
Yeah.
How many times, or should I say, how long ago was it that you started swallowing down your own, your own integrity or your own feelings to appease him? How long has that been going on?
I couldn't even tell you.
But you recognize this today that you have been doing that for quite some time.
Yes.
You just didn't want
I didn't
to
want to
just
admit it. I didn't want to admit it to myself.
yeah. And you didn't want to upset the apple cart. You didn't want this, what we're doing right here. You didn't want this ever. But he's backed you into a corner to where you have to speak out because you walking away would never be accepted because he wouldn't be able to manipulate you into doing all the work that you do for him behind the scenes, collecting this, collecting that, writing this up, writing that up. He wouldn't be able to continue that manipulation and use his son to get you to feel bad for him into doing everything that he wanted because you are just a big heart for a person that is, I've met on social media. I would say you're probably the second to third people that I've met out there that is just all heart and really does have the best intentions for anybody that is in your circle, anybody that is around you.
Well, like I said, I don't plan on doing anything further with this channel or with any channel going forward. I have a horrible taste in my mouth for anything with the cryptid and paranormal community. And I just, at this point, I whether it be a break and me come back and do something, maybe I'll do something completely different down the road. But I don't want anything to do with Mike or abnormal investigations ever again. And
I can't, I don't blame you.
I hope that whoever he manipulates in the future to Julie Kuhn's silver bullet is actually his mother. Uh, oh, we have a guest. Let's bring on.
I would suggest, can I make a suggestion to you, Jess? As a person that's been down the road and been there, done that with life, I would suggest that you take a break. I would suggest that you actually seek a counselor, somebody to talk to and vent to about dealing with narcissistic people and what they've done to you and what it creates within you physically, mentally, and emotionally, and get some healing going on, girl.
What was this? Mike joked about waking up 20 minutes before a show knowing you had done all of the hard work. He targets women. How would you have known that, Elastic? I don't know how he would have ever even heard that. Batmom, I will keep up this show, but the rest of the rest of the videos, where I went after Rhonda and Melissa, yeah, sorry, Clough, I'm taking the ones down of Madeline as well. I'm taking them all down.
I think that's the right thing to do. I think take down anything that was directly supporting him because how much of it is true? What has he told you is true? Um, I would say, there's a lot there that's been brought to you that probably wasn't honest. And so therefore you've got to protect your integrity.
Anthony, where'd it go? Oh, it jumped. I honestly couldn't tell you the fake accounts that he had. From what I knew, he only had like four or five fake accounts. And within those fake accounts, he would actually just change the names and then go into a different one. I know a lot of people say that he had hundreds and thousands of fake accounts, but I know during the time that I was actually going through and watching, he would say, "Hey, I'm going into Abe's show." Most of the time, completely honest, most of the time, we would go in there and we would just watch and listen. We weren't trolling. Now, with
Yeah.
anybody else trolling, I couldn't say. I couldn't say if he had anybody else that he was talking to on Messenger telling them to do it. I don't know. But other than that, and like I said, and like I told Josh Turner earlier today, and I have admitted before, I trolled Abe CS once and one time only, and that was that one time when I gave him that long, huge thing of corn on the cobs in his chat. That was it. That was the one time. Because if I'm going to be accused of doing something, yeah, you know what? Might as well do it. I'm being accused of it anyway. So yeah, I did. But
And same goes for me. I watched bits and pieces of Josh's show. Until the only time I ever watched like most of the shows when Abe had put a thing up about me that was all false and stuff like that. I've never gone into PRT and made comments or anything. And when I was visiting and just watching, I was using my own account because I'm not somebody that hides. I don't create fake accounts. I'm not that person. And so for us to sit here and try to come up with a man we're just sitting here bringing it to you, a man that has manipulated Jess, has lied to Jess in many ways. Do you think that he's going to be honest with her and tell her how many fake accounts he has? Or how many women is he entertaining on those fake accounts? Because he's done it off this account right in front of her and God and everybody. I mean, seriously, give her a little bit of slack and stop asking some really hard questions because this is impossible for her to do. This is breaking her heart. He
and
was her best friend.
yeah. I was good until you said that thing, Shell.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to bring to everybody how hard this is for you, the truth of it, and just what you've gone through the last couple of weeks, waking up to it and trying to compartmentalize all your feelings, and yet still deal with him, constantly texting, constantly asking you to do this, constantly asking you to do that, not letting you sleep because he wants this done or that done. I mean, he literally used the crap out of you. And in the end, he had led you on many different times. I know you had mentioned to me, maybe this will bring you out of it a little bit, but you had mentioned to me that he had sent you pictures. You had never been speaking like intimately with him, romantically, flirtatious, anything. All of a sudden, he's sending you a live of his parts, his private parts. And if that's not leading somebody on that you don't have any intentions on having any relationship with, I don't know what is.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, we would have conversations. When I say we would have long conversations, um, I could show you where we would have 8-hour conversations a day into the night. There would be times where he would call me in the morning to make sure that I was up and awake and getting ready for work. And he would be on the phone with me the entire time that I would be driving into work, and then he would call me in the middle of work, and then he would call me on my way home from work, and then all of a sudden it stopped. He's busy. Okay. Um, but during the summer, we would have 8, 9, 10-hour conversations where he would hang up and break to either go feed the sheep or help his mom bring in groceries. I don't know. I don't even know anymore what the excuses were to anything, if anything was true. But he would tell me about things like what he wanted to do in the future when Hunter came home, and how he wanted to fix up his place, and what he wanted in a future wife, and what he wanted in life. And we would share things like that. And he would, I mean, not just that, but we would talk about God. We would talk about the Bible. He was my best friend. And for him, yes, he did lead me on. And the minute he realized that I was getting scared about the things that he was doing, or I questioned the things that he was doing, he got angry and said, I went for the throat. And you know what? You know why I questioned him? Because I got a random, and this is where people are going to go, oh, here we go. Yep, this is why. She's scorned and bitter because she was in love with him, and that is it, and realized that he didn't want anything to do with her. No. I got a message on Monday morning while I was at work, after we had already had a personal argument that had nothing to do with anybody else. This was between me and him, from one of his moderators, saying, are you and Mike okay? Because, we're just friends and I don't want to start any trouble. Ladies, to all the ladies out there, if your guy friend has a female friend contact you out of the blue who doesn't ever talk to you and says, we're just friends, please tell me, what is that? Is that not something of what is that? But here's the thing that goes along with it. Something that he likes to do to the people that he's talking to, rather than confront, he does not like confrontation. So rather than confront and deal with the problem at hand, he will have other people do it for him. Much like when he would turn around and say, why don't you message Travis Carpenter and find out what's wrong? Because he's not messaging me, he's not talking to me. See what's wrong with him, why he won't talk to me. And this last time he kept asking me to do it, and I basically said, sure. So I messaged Travis. No, I didn't. And he says, have you heard anything back? And I'm like, nope. Because at that point I was done. There was a reason why Travis Carpenter wasn't talking to him. There's a reason why many people don't want to respond back to him. So I was done playing his games. I was done listening to him. I was done allowing him to manipulate me at that point. But sorry.
Take a deep breath, Jess. Take a minute.
To the PRT people, please stop attacking. I understand you guys might be upset with Clough over stuff, but please stop going after everybody else. This is supposed to be, I want people to understand what has been going on.
Jess,
Yes.
if you will, could you,
Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
yes, Josh Turner, thank you. You've shown up and been completely respectable here, and you definitely tried to keep some peace in the chat. I've been watching. Thank you. Jess, could you also go into how he would use people and then worry about, are they still his friend and stuff like that? How about, let's bring up Barton Knowingly. How did that all go down? What is it that he absolutely hates about Barton, yet he's always on Barton's timeline making comments or agreeing with Barton?
He believes
What's
that Barton has something to do with Hunter being removed, and that he has some secret thing that Barton isn't sharing with anybody in regards to Hunter being removed, and Letitia, and the lie about why he was removed. In fact, he goes on and on about video recordings and stuff, and he goes in under other. He's been in under my channel talking about Barton and some secret recordings. I've heard some recordings. I have not heard all of them, but he keeps trying to push things, just like he tried to push me to with Clough.
manipulate and control?
Yes.
Manipulate and control is the bottom line here.
He's tried to manipulate me to even have Ginny write an affidavit, and I'm like, Ginny has nothing to do with this. Ginny knows nothing about what's going on. Well, she could write an affidavit. No, she can't. From what? From what perspective? No. I said, I'm not putting Ginny out there to do something that she has no. He's asked other people to do, the whole affidavits in the first place. He's like, I can't ask people to write affidavits for me for court. Can you do it? So I went on another mission for him to try and get people to write affidavits for him for court. Stupid me. What do? I write a 190-page affidavit, send it into court. Do they use it? I don't even know what they use it.
195 pages. That's a book. You took your time, your energy, your life, and you sunk it into somebody that had no respect for you, no appreciation for you, and has done the same thing in the entire community. He had no respect for me to sit there and have everybody dislike me, but yet want me on a show so that he could benefit from it. Then come to me last night after, he doesn't talk to me anymore because he knows I would put him in his place if he comes to me like he does most women. I'm not going to put up with it. And that's why I think he doesn't like me. But the point of it is, you don't dislike somebody and then just last night hit me up out of the blue, somebody that could never talk to me or have a conversation with me, just have conversations about me, but hit me out of the blue to go attack his sister. I don't know, Rhonda. How am I supposed to attack somebody I don't know? And I really don't know that much of his business or this court case or any of it to even get in the middle of that or even try that. So he even worked at manipulating me last night, and he didn't get squat out of me. In fact, I left the conversation and didn't go back to it. Um, I was completely appalled, and I wanted to give him the middle finger and say a big F you, because I had learned over the last couple of days a lot of things that you had shared with me. And I was like, oh, well, my suspicions were always right. When there was the whipping, constant whipping noise in his life, you could tell it was a stick, like close to him in proximity. And then all of a sudden, I see the edge of the stick. And
Well,
then these
speaking
EVPs are over and over and over. Same thing.
speaking of that, there's even even with the EVPs now, through the conversation that I had with him last night, that I also have recorded, he talked about some of the EVPs that are out there. They are actually happening. They are real. Well, one of the conversations that I had with him months ago, maybe year ago, I stated that because he's made comments about there are things that I need to do and that I need to get over, and I need to grow a thicker skin and do things because, if I'm going to hang with him, then I need to be able to do stuff. And which is like, at the time, did I realize that he was referring to things like hoaxing? No, because I have said over and over again, the minute you start to lie and you start to hoax and you are exposed for what you're doing, it throws everything you have ever done in the trash. The only thing we have as human beings in this world is our integrity and our truth and our word. And if we can't even keep our word and be honest to the people that are looking up to us or looking at us for answers, then what does that say? We can't be trusted at all. And he said, well, some of those EVPs are real. Well, he knows darn well
Um,
how I would have felt if I would have known about it. So he kept that secret from me because I would have called him out and I would have
but yet
told
he
him to stop.
supposedly told his moderators, though. Supposedly.
Supposedly. And did he? I don't know. I would love to know if Sharon, Guy, and Pam actually knew about it or if he was using it as an excuse because they've been there for the longest time. Or because he thinks that maybe they'll support and back him no matter what. Um, I find it interesting that every new interest that comes across in his channel, first it was Sarah. Sarah, I'm not saying Sarah was an interest. I'm just saying there were EVPs that were coming across saying Sarah, Sarah. But then I think there were some EVPs that actually called out Brooks's name. And when I got onto the scene, they started calling out my name. There's plenty of people out there that heard Jesse. And I thought that is crazy nuts. And then when Amanda started with the show, EVP started coming through as Amanda. Well, that's weird. Out of the blue. And then they started saying Sky Wonderly.
And Sky just says in chat
Sky,
she believes these
Sky,
EVPs are real. Well, stick around, Sky. You're new. Start listening to the EVPs and how many times they're repeated in different locations over and over and over for months and months. The same EVP, the same little old Indian man saying something.
Shell.
I mean, it's so obvious.
So, at one point in one of the live streams, there was an EVP that came through that said, and I don't know if Scared Silly is still here, but I do believe that she is the one that actually found this and actually posted it at one point. But there was an EVP that came through that said Jesse, and then a few minutes later it said, and I apologize, but it said fuck her in the pussy. And he laughed about it when I questioned him. And he says, oh, that was probably Josh. And I'm not saying Josh Turner. I'm saying Josh, his buddy Josh, because his buddy Josh was apparently out there with him and making whispers and talking about stuff. And I'm like, why in the world would he say something like that? And he says, oh, he's got a bad mouth. Well, as you guys have heard from the other stuff, that Mike has a pretty bad mouth too. But Sky, no, those EVPs are not all real. And if you are going to be duped by it as well, then um,
Good luck.
I feel sorry for you. I'm giving you the warning ahead of time. There are many things that he will do to make you feel special. After all, like he said, make a woman feel important and she'll do anything for you.
I do have to address something real quick. His mother is in chat.
Yeah,
No
she's
disrespect. She did say that there's two sides to every story, and there is. But when you flip that coin up and it comes down and lands on the ground, one side is dirty and mucked up. And he goes
why?
by the name of Dirty Ike. There's a reason.
No, now do I believe that everything that he has done is a lie? No, but I don't know what to believe. I don't know how much of it to believe. Do I believe that Rhonda is innocent? No. Do I believe that Rhonda is completely innocent in any of this? No. Just like I know Josh is probably not innocent in any of this either. Everybody has done stuff. But Mike has taken advantage of me. I have watched him take advantage of our moderators. I
And
have
me.
watched him, yes, I have watched him take advantage of subscribers in the chat. I have watched him take advantage of his co-hosts.
And let's look at this for what it is. This this literally is what's wrong with why there is no community. Because it's people that are hoaxing and doing stuff like this. This is why I even agreed to come on your show with you, Jess, and stuff, because this gets into one of my pet peeves. Somebody that is hoaxing and untruth does nothing for us researchers that are busting our ass out there to bring the truth. People that are going out there alone, Mike, not like you that has a whole entourage that you're hiding behind you. Yeah, we see the shadows on the ground when the light's behind you, or somebody's got a red light beside you and it hits you in the side of the head, and yet there's nothing in front of you, nothing to the sides, but yet there's a shadow on the ground. That only comes from people that have lights on you from behind. This is a whole topic if we get into the hoaxing. But we're trying to cover all of this whole thing here. And the truth
Okay,
of all of it.
Shell. Can you see this right here? You see what she just put up here? How does he take advantage of you, Jess? What are you doing? How is he taking advantage of you, Jess? What are you doing? He told me last night he loves you as a friend and that would never change, and I don't understand this.
In all honesty, she hasn't been around very long. I mean, in total, grand total, maybe a month. Um, I think she needs to just stick around, go out, hang out with Mike. Go, you go be his one that he manipulates. You go, Sky, you go. And since you're on that page, just go ahead and leave now. Go ahead and go join Mike and his show and be entertained by fake stuff because that's all fake.
She's getting ready to be his next co-host anyways. Which is why he thinks that I'm doing this is because I'm jealous of it. Of the fact. No, no. I'm not jealous.
Sky, how am I
be
a
prepared.
known liar?
Be
How am I a
prepared.
known liar?
Be prepared, Sky, to be up very late at night, many, many nights, soothing his anxiety, soothing his anger, his qualms. If his mom's not there to do it, it's gonna fall on you. But be prepared because, like I said, I spent many nights up all night, even when I had to go to work the next morning, and I would go to work and then come home, maybe take a nap. When I was sick with a fever, I was sick out cold for 3 days with a fever, and he constantly called. And you know what? I took it as he was just being nice and checking up on me. No, he had to have somebody to talk to at all times. He needed to have somebody to be there and talk to him. And um, I lost my job. I lost my job. I did so much. I did. I helped him out so. Yeah, and it hurt. It does hurt. He was my best friend. And I feel defeated.
In all honesty, with friends like that, you don't need enemies.
I and I understand, Shell, you were so angry about the hoaxing stuff. I'm upset about the lies. I'm upset about the manipulation.
All of it is upsetting to me. I don't like to see women manipulated and treated badly. All of it upsets me. But yeah, my whole purpose for being on social media, everybody knows. I tell everybody this. I'm here for the work and what I do. The crypt is it's what I'm all about. And yes, it does irk me to no end because yes, decades worth of trying to make this a more credible community, decades of bringing work that is not hoaxed, and then hear all that when I had already suspected it. And, I never closed the blind eye. If somebody's accusing somebody I'd seen and heard Joss accuse him of it, Abe accuse him of it, everybody. So, I objectively watched his shows with an open mind. And yeah, my conclusions, they are what I've already stated. I don't need to repeat it. But you're right. That is one thing that really irks me. But it also irks me somebody that comes to me that tells everybody they don't like me, spreads lies about me. You everybody's been wanting this truth. Everybody's been asking me on my timeline, who are you talking about that said that your cryptid work was AI? Well, newsflash, Mike, AI doesn't go back 30 years when I was taking those photos that you want to call AI. Yeah, everybody,
Well,
it was Mike that said that.
okay, so like I said, anybody that wants to come on, you are more than welcome to come on and talk, ask me questions. This is not just Shell. Shell is up here trying to help and support, but I do want to address this because this is something that has been said over and over and over again. Because like I said, I'm not up here just to bash Mike. I do want the truth out there. And I know Madeline says Mike doesn't even believe in the paranormal. Mike does not believe in ghosts. Mike does not believe that ghosts and spirits are real. Mike believes that ghosts and spirits are demons and demonic. I also do believe that ghosts and spirits are demon and demonic, not that they're not paranormal. So to say he doesn't believe in paranormal or the cryptid and stuff like that, no, there is a difference, and that's not. I want to make that clear. It's not that he doesn't believe in paranormal; he doesn't believe in ghosts. So I just want to make that clear. Sorry. I'm not up here to attack him and to just this isn't an attack. This isn't to destroy him. This is to I want the truth out there. I'm still not going to, if I see something that is not true, I will say it. So that's, anyways, like I said, if anybody else wants to come up, if they have questions, they want to say something and they want to talk, it's pinned in chat, please, by all come on up. Hello, Larry.
If anything, sometimes good comes from the bad, Jess. I know you're hurting, but maybe this is the final straw that's going to make everybody, you know, just stop judgment, stop fighting, stop going back and forth on their channels. and just leave the rotten eggs to be rotten eggs and the apple carts that they're going to turn the good apples bad. Just leave them do it. Just let them be them. Just go on. Just like, you need to move on. You need, I think, some counseling for, somebody being a narcissistic in your life. And, then get out there and do what you love. Do what your passion is. You do it well and hold your head up high. Everybody in here has been supportive to you, Jess. I don't think that you should just disappear forever. You have a lot to offer as far as a cryptid investigator and researcher. Um, get yourself together, come back stronger. You got a whole bunch of people at your back, a whole bunch of people respecting you for telling the truth.
Well, as far as this channel goes, I probably won't be coming back as, like I said, anything paranormal. If I do come back at all, it'll be a break. I've had ideas maybe in the future of something that I would love to do. But like I said with this channel, it's not something that I even want to do as monetarily. It would be something that I would do just because it's fun. I have spent the last 2 years of my life devoted. I've spent the last 2 years of my life devoted to the friendship that I thought we had and the channel and helping him grow his channels. Um,
It's
the
time to take a break.
New Year's video that I put together and helped him do that I spent all night stressing over, reaching out to his previous guests for stuff.
Yeah, you need some
Together.
time.
Oh, by the way, Mike, I'm giving you a warning right now. Your intro music is, you might want to stop playing it now because it's going to be copyrighted. You can't play any of that music. Intros for either one of your channels. And that other one that was basically me saying I would back you no matter what, you lost that too. Don't say I didn't warn you.
I think just that, you like you said, it's been 2 years that you've been basically being somebody else's bitch. So I think it's time that you take time, and I think you get back to the fun. Do what is fun. We don't live that far apart. We'll go out. We don't have to go live. We don't have to do anything, but we'll just go out and just have fun. We'll go, cryptid hunting, and trust me, you'll laugh. I'll make you laugh. I promise.
I'm going to need that.
Yep. We're going to have some good times. Warm weather's going to be coming. We'll meet up. We'll have good times. There's going to be good times ahead. You need some healing time, sweetheart. You really do.
And I am going to do one warning. If he says he wants to threaten me with videos or recordings that he has, go ahead, Mike, you can bring it. I will post up on YouTube the full, I think I have 6 hours of phone call recordings over the last couple of days of you talking about people. And that's fine. Whatever I said in there, I'll eat it. I have no problem. But everybody will see exactly the kind of person you are and how you talk all the time. And so go ahead. I only played a little bit tonight, but I have no problem posting those up there. I don't need to host anything. I don't need to talk about it. I'll just post the conversation. So if anybody sees something come up on this channel in the next couple of days, you'll know that it was a video clip of the recordings. They're already loaded and ready to go.
Texas Rex says, and we, the PRT fans, are here to support you, Miss Jessie. So,
Well,
that's appreciated, all the support that you guys are giving her. I want to thank everybody for the support. And keeping chat as nice as it has been, it could have been a lot worse. So I just want to acknowledge everybody and say thank you. And Jess, I'm going to jump off here. Maybe somebody else will come up. And if not, I'll let you say some final words and wrap it up. And God bless you, sister. Much love. And I'm here to support you always, always, girl.
thank you, Shell. I appreciate you.
Quite welcome.
So, I know that there's a couple questions in here. What happened with Nick and Jody Cook? As far as Jody Cook, I don't know. Keep in mind, there's a lot of stuff that I came into after the fact. Nick Valenti, the he can come on. Sure. Do you still have the link? Um, it's pinned. But as far as yeah, Jody Cook and Nick Valenti, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not aware of. Let me see if I can get the link if somebody wants to come on, I guess it's not there. Oh, link is up. So yeah, if somebody else wants to come on, please come on up in a couple minutes. I thought, okay. I do say though, I don't want this to just be a bashing. If you have questions specifically about anything, I'm more than willing to answer it. But I don't want it to be just a bash. This is not a bash fest. Unfortunately, it's going to take a while because I still care about him, and this does hurt. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it does. And maybe this is part of my healing, but there's part of me, as hard as it is to say it, as far as what happened with his kids, I don't know for sure. However, if the way he respects and talks about women to somebody like me who is spending so much time and effort in helping him with his channel and helping him grow, and he has the kind of disrespect about women and including me to say the things that he has to say about women. If that's the kind of mentality he has, then in that case, as a mother, I wouldn't want him around my son. I wouldn't want him around my daughter. Do I think that he is to be untrusted around children? No. I've heard him and the way he does talk with the kids, and he does care about the kids. Do I think that he has a way of talking about women that is corrupt and disgusting? Yes. And for that, I do believe that it's hard for me to say. Is Hunter in a better place? Hey there, at least you're wearing clothes this time, huh?
Yeah, it's a rarity. I figured I'd do your.
How are you?
I I wanted to tell you how sorry I am. Sorry I am to hear this bit of mess. Let me get my. Where is it? Um, I should like probably keep talking or some such while I figure this out.
Oh, oh yeah, thank you. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, that's not the right chord.
All right,
That's
give me a thumbs up. I have something to say. Give me a thumbs up when you get adjusted. Okay, there.
okay.
All right. Um, yes, there was something else that I needed to talk about that I completely forgot about talking about. Um, so one of the other things that I needed to bring up was this issue with Dogman stories. And there was an individual who actually talked to me about how he actually would talk about stories about dogmen having fellatio with humans, and those were stories that were sent in, and how he would tell me these things too, how he couldn't actually put them out on regular things. He would have to do a Patreon, and would Patreon go after him for it. And it turns out that I wasn't even one of the first ones that had heard these stories. He had also spoke about a few lives ago a situation about Kirk Reed and issue with one of his co-hosts previously, and wanting to come down, and how he was going to take her out boots on the ground and actually do something with her. And as it turns out, I don't believe that it was actually. Do I believe it was Kirk Reed? Yeah, with the way that he talked too. But do I think it was just Kirk Reed? No, I do believe that it was both of them were making these comments. Do I know for certain? No. But based on the other stories and things that Mike would talk about in regards to Bigfoot and Dogman wanting to have sex, basically, sex and blowjobs with humans. Yeah, he would play on that as well. And yeah, I started to have a outline of things that I wanted to hit, and I'm probably missing more, which is why I'm kind of like, if there are people that have questions, I would love to have them come up and ask questions, because it'll at least help me go into some more situations. Like I said, this wasn't just I wanted to get the truth out there, and I want people to know exactly what they're dealing with him. Things that I rationalized away or let go. So I don't know. Wendy, you say that he was never inappropriate. You've had many conversations with him. The man is passed on since now, so I don't know. Did he tell me to approve certain posts? No. No, that was all me. Whether I approved or or took them out, that was me. All right. Are you ready there, Chris? I thought Josh was coming on. What happened? Is he not coming on now, guys? I'm not sure.
One of the questions that I've got that I do have about Mike is do you know what the truth is about his being Cherokee or Comanche or whatever it is he's claiming?
He's Cherokee.
He is.
Yes.
Okay, because that's always been a big issue of contention.
No, he is. No, he's Cherokee. He's actually he has Native on both sides of his mom's and dad's side of his family. But yes, he's Cherokee, just like his sisters, just like his children. Yes, they are.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
I am.
Yep. I mean, just because skin looks a certain way doesn't mean anything. You know, I've known plenty of African American people that have looked white, and yet they come from 2 black parents. So, no. In fact, one of my good friends is in high school. It doesn't matter. Yes. Looks, you can never judge a book by its cover.
I was aware of that you can look perfectly white and still have Indian blood.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Hello.
Hey, Jessica.
You know, I feel like a complete traitor right now having you on my show.
I don't believe in this, camps. There's camps, yeah, but there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any camps. There should just be people. I felt betrayed, by you, Wig. I mean, you came on my show and I gave you a heartfelt apology, and you turned around and you went right back in there into that group and said things. But I want to say this: it doesn't affect me. I don't care. I forgive you.
I agreed to stop posting the memes. I'd never.
Well, you didn't really fulfill whatever it is. But the point is this: I forgive you. I forgive everybody that's in this chat. I don't care if they forgive me. I forgive them. I don't want to fight with anybody. I just want this to be, if anything, Jessica, this is what I want. And this is not about me, but I'm going to tell you something. This is a chance for us to heal. This is a chance for us to have peace. We're this close to having peace. Now, it's going to be real easy for everybody to back out of this and go, oh, guess what? We figured out it's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. He did all of this, whatever. I've been saying this for a long time, that this guy is what he is, and he's been doing what he's doing. But Jessica had a point. Nobody was innocent in this. Nobody. Everybody had a hand in this. Yeah, did I get played? Yes, I did. I got played at the beginning. I believed this guy. I thought that things were a certain way. And I went along with a lot of the narratives and things that people were pushing because I didn't know. And I was as busy as anybody else trying to find my footing and figure out who the hell, what was being said and who was real. I lost some of my friends, and it sucks. It really sucks, man. Me and going back to the beginning, Jessica, Cryptid Huntress, the narrative was being pushed that she was the enemy and she was a bad guy. And somebody was posting in our groups, posing as her and saying, I stand with Jessica. And my mods kept catching this in the group and going, what is this? I said, I don't know what this is. And it turned out that she was upset because I had attacked boots on the ground.
Now, I have to say, I know a lot of accounts were blamed on Mike, just like there were a lot of accounts blamed on you and your camp. Do I believe that is the case? No, I think that there are other groups that were taking advantage of the fighting and was using it. And I think that there has been a lot of finger pointing and blaming, and I don't believe that it really does need to stop. And I don't believe that, just like I said, nobody is innocent in this. And it is hard to tell who's telling the truth because there were so many lies that are being spout back and forth, back and forth. But as far as the fake accounts and that goes, that's not even, I don't even want to say that's part of the reason why I'm talking about any of this. It's the lies in general and the backstabbing and the manipulation. And I truly think that, I know this is going to be hard for some to understand, is, do I think that over time things have escalated and have grown into something that has been turned into a monster? Yes. Do I think when Mike started off doing this that he had ill intention for anybody? No. But it turned into something. Damon Peterson, no, was not his account. Damon Peterson was an account that was taken over and hacked by somebody else within his group. In fact, I have a recording that actually he says that Barb Hartnett, I think that's it, actually tried to help him change his accounts around because people had access to his accounts that shouldn't have. And had it not been for her, he probably would have been using those accounts, or allowing those accounts, not allowing, but those accounts would have been running rampant for much longer than they should have been. And she actually helped him get those adjusted.
Who was this that helped him?
Barb was one of his moderators in
Bob
the beginning.
Hartman.
Yeah, Hartman. That's
Well, see,
it.
I'll check with her on that because I got screenshots proving that Mike was Damon Peterson, and there was communication between him and Janice. So that's 100% on that. I'm 100% on that. Now, maybe what you're saying is true, that it got hacked afterwards. You know, I don't know. And like you, I don't know what to believe with a lot of this, because I get information every day, and what I've been doing the last month, if y'all haven't noticed, is ignoring it.
Yes, I have noticed it.
Yeah, because I don't want to be a part of it anymore. I don't want to fight with Mike. I don't want to fight with Barton, Larry, and Clough. But it is what it is. I mean, I got my own situation with those gentlemen, and I'm not backing down from anybody. I didn't back down from Dark Waters or DDoS or any of the other people that were involved in this in the early going. And these people are going to go run and tell these people I said something negative. I didn't say anything negative. I just said I didn't back down. I'm not going to. All I'm going to do is say this. I'm a very forgiving person. And Jessica, I don't hold grudges. Same thing for you, Wig. I don't hold grudges. I don't. I move on. A person that holds grudges will die lonely and broke. That's the problem. I watched my mother and father hold grudges until the day my mother died. They were holding grudges. Hopefully my mother let go. She says she did, but holding grudges ain't going to do nothing. The only thing that it's going to do is make you angry, bitter, and alone and afraid. But I will say this: I am going to defend myself and my people and my family against anybody that comes against us and attacks us. And see, and there's that mom just made a good point right there. Dana, I mean, she was a very big part of the spreading of the rumors and the lies. Now, I still personally believe that somebody was manipulating her into doing this and saying these things.
And that's where I want to say, yes, Dana has been actually one of my biggest supporters in this, because yes, she is very upset about everything, because yes, she was being manipulated by him. She is one of those ones. Dana has had nothing but good intentions in everything that she has done.
Not toward us. She didn't.
Well, there were a lot of things that you and your camp did that was not exactly.
I said a lot of things about Dana and telling people that I think she had a mental condition, and I told a lot of people who can verify this they needed to back off of her, because arguing with her is like me arguing with my dog. You're not going to win.
Yeah, think about that Halloween special that you guys did. That was That was nice of you.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, a tit for tat. You take pounds of flesh, we take one back. Like I said, I'm not holding grudges. But when somebody attacks me, I'm going to say something back. That's the thing. Jessica, I forgive you for whatever. And like I said, I'm gonna appeal to you right now, and I'm gonna say something to you in front of everybody. I don't think you should quit. I don't care about the videos you made about me. In fact, I didn't watch a damn one of them. I don't even know what the hell they said. I got little snippets from people.
They weren't even about you. I mean, there were digs here and there, but they weren't even really about. We did the 3 in regards to the Madeline's, which I told you they're all coming down anyways. I don't even care. They're coming down. The only one that's going to be staying up is this one because I want people to see the truth about what he has been doing and the manipulation that he has been doing on so many people. And I know that there are people in the chat now that are even telling me that I'm delusional and don't know what I'm talking about. But I know after the last 2 years, I know what I went through. And if they don't want to believe it, they don't have to. That's fine. But regardless, like I said, this channel, I'm pretty much, I'm not coming back to the community. This is my done. This is my
Let
done.
me ask you a question, Jessica, and this is from the bottom of my heart. Do you feel like walking away from this community is going to heal you, or do you feel like walking away from the situation with Mike is going to heal you, or do you think
Both.
that it's both? You feel like you have to do both?
Both.
Yeah. Because I would be honest with you, Jessica, you have a very good voice. You speak very clearly. You make good points when you talk. You push what you say. You say it eloquently. You are a good speaker. You have a very good persona if you used it for good. Now, here's the thing, and I'm not attacking you at all. When you or me or anybody, whether it's Mike, Abe, anybody who's been involved in this whole drama thing, if we use our ability to attack and to fight, and I came to this conclusion, it's like you are not playing to your strength and you are actually using yourself to do evil, to do harm. Eventually, the people that walk away from what they listen to are going to be affected by it negatively, even if it's the truth, even if you're speaking the truth about these people, because people don't like to feel crappy. What they want to do is come home from work and turn on Paranormal Roundtable or whatever show they choose to listen to, and then go, hey, man, this is cool. We're talking about people's encounters. We're talking about Dogman. We're talking about Bigfoot. We're talking about paranormal, whatever. And then feel like they have, it's made them feel better. Like, that long day at work with their crappy boss and their crappy coworker that they always got to pick up the slack for, or somebody that makes them mad, whether it be a spouse or a child or their parents or whatever. Tune out the world for an hour to 2 hours, listen to the show, and feel good when they walk away. The one thing I noticed about your channel, it just became the let's attack PRT and whoever's involved with it channel. I'm not judging you for that. You did what you felt like you needed to do to defend a person that you cared about, right? I don't look all fair in love and war kind of thing, right? I'm that guy. I don't care. I don't judge you. I will never hold a grudge against you. You have my word. But I think you would be remiss to walk away from the field completely, because I see in the chat, even though some of these people, they're not my biggest fans and they don't like me, you still do have a support group here. You have these people. When me and Mike made that short piece, I told Mike the same thing. I said, if you put the sword down and walk away, and I do the same thing, this community could end the suffering. It could end the pain. We could all move forward. And I said, Mike, you could get back what you had. You could turn your channel back into something where you go out and investigate and do it correctly and don't use people and all this other stuff. We talked about this. And he agreed on this. And I told him, I said, anytime there are two factions that are fighting, you got all these little orbiters that get involved and they make it much, much worse. And they make your problems, their problems become your problems. And I do believe that's what happened in this situation. You had a faction of people who were angry with me, who joined up with Mike, and then turned into this big conflagration. And eventually, to me, it was like watching a TV show, and I just had this epiphany. I'm like, I could just turn it off. Let them say whatever they want to say about me. If they want to say that I'm Islam apologist. I'm anti-Semitic. I'm anti-gay, or that I'm. Some people call me a Zionist. Some people call me hateful, Islamophobic, or gayophobic, or whatever. Homo. They call me both. They call me Nazi. They call me communist. They call me everything they could think of. But at the end of the day, do the people that listen to that, do their opinions matter? And the profound answer is no, it doesn't. I'm imploring for you, Jessica, to right the ship, get over your pain, take as much time as you need. But at some point, I do believe in my heart that if you really do feel like you've turned a corner here, and the way you have been tonight, honest, and just this is your truth, this is your honesty, right? Take that with you. But don't walk away from something that you're passionate about, because that's what Bettina did. And I think the community's poorer for it. Because I'm going to say something, and this is not me pandering to the women in this community. We need more females in this community. We do. And every time one of them gets sick of the BS, and I'm going to say this, and this, fellas, this is not white knighting. I've seen it happen. I can name half a dozen people off the top of my head. The sexual harassment. It happens at people's conferences. It happens in people's channels. It happens in people's chats. It happens in their groups. That was the reason I fought the first war with those guys over at the Dogman group that I was in. It started all that. My wife was in the hospital, and all I saw them doing was picking on every time a woman peeped up about a Dogman. If they didn't walk a thin line and follow a certain narrative, they got attacked. And I finally said something, and it wasn't, I wasn't like up there like, no, I'm going to defend the women. I just said, hey, maybe we should stop attacking these women every time they say something. And then, and it became a big old thing. That was my thing. And I got blisteringly attacked for it. And I almost got knocked out of the community. And I wasn't a real big dude at that time. I only had like 15,000 subscribers or something. I wasn't anybody. I was a pissant. And I'm still not the biggest boy on the block. And I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be me. But the thing is, there are people in this community that absolutely use other people, and they use women that are vulnerable. And my heart goes out to you. If what you're saying is true tonight, and I'm going to take you at your word, then I feel like it is a sad, very sad thing for you to turn around and walk away, because then your narrative gets written into the history books by others. Don't let a person or a thing define who you are. It's just what happened to you, not who you are.
When I decided that I was going to be doing this, and I chose to make that decision to actually do this, oh, trust me, I was on the phone with, up until the last minute, trying to decide whether or not I could even do this show tonight. I had already made the decision that this was going to be my final show. This was it. And that really hurts. That really does. Because I did care. And I do care. But I can't sit back and let people be taken advantage of and used. So don't say that I don't care.
Jessica, if anything, I think you're guilty of caring too much. That's my opinion. I really think you care too much. And also, I want to say, Wig, I know you don't like me. You got your beef with me, and it may never go away. That's your prerogative. But I do appreciate you being on here to support her. And even though I don't like Clough personally, I don't say I dislike him. Just the things that he did and said between me and him, I want to say that I appreciate you being supportive of her too. And everybody from PRT, please, let's not use this as an opportunity to settle old scores. Let's stop. Let's stop, please. For the love of God, let's stop. We can still heal this community. We can still... I don't need to be the leader of this. I don't need to be the man. I don't care. Follow who you're going to follow. Watch who you're going to watch, but use some discernment and be careful about who you follow. And sometimes people, Silver Bullet, come on. I know you're Mike's mom, and I've said some things about you, but you've said some awful things about me too. This is a chance right now for us to move on and heal. This is no shame on her. You should not. That is not correct. All right, Mike. I know you're listening, and I know this is. You feel like this is an attack on you. I'm not attacking you, Mike, but I'm going to tell you something. You and your mom need to stop right now. Okay. You will have your say. You have a channel, and I'm sure you're going to use it to say what you have to say. But right now, this is an opportunity for all of us to move forward. And everybody can just, calmer heads prevail. And I want to say this to everybody in the community. I don't hold grudges. Now, if you smack me, I'm going to smack you back, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go in. But if you leave us be, I promise you, if someone from my camp comes at you, I will deal with it. I dealt with two guys who were making fun of Mike because of the Vienna sausage challenge or whatever. I'm not friends with those guys no more. And I'm pretty sure that they've trolled me a few times now because of it. They've said some nasty things about me. And they asked me the question, well, how can you support a guy that I didn't support Mike? I didn't support Mike. I just said that it ain't okay to make fun of somebody because you think they're poor. That was my thing. And I stuck by that. And I got blisteringly attacked for that. And I'm getting threatened all the time, and not just by people from y'all's camp. And people have said, whoa, it's Larry, it's Club. Maybe, but I kind of think it's not these certain people that are doing this, because I've never thought of them saying that they were vampires. So that I don't believe is them. So I get attacked constantly. We get attacked. But the thing is, everybody needs to chill out, okay? This is her truth. This is what she says is going on. And I really think that people need to stop attacking this woman. She is pouring her heart out. And I know that you care about Mike, and I can see this. And this is, she's trying to say what needs to be said.
This is the angle that I knew he was going to play. And no.
Yeah.
And no, it's not. That is not true. I am not upset because he didn't want a relationship. That's a blatant lie. I'm upset because of the lies, the deception, the deceit, and the manipulation and being used. That is why I'm upset. And for you to turn around and blame me and shame me like that? No. I'm hurt because I don't know how many times I have to say it. He was my best friend. I spent so much time sharing and talking, and we shared secrets, and we told stories, and we bounced ideas off of each other, and for you to say that that's why I'm upset? No, that is not why I'm upset. And if that's your way of trying to save face for him, that's on you. Maybe you should try talking to your daughter, because she knows how hard this was for me to do this too. So does Wendy. And no, that was the last person that I would want to go to. I didn't want to go to either one of them. But you know what? I couldn't talk to you, okay? I couldn't talk to Sarah because I was told I couldn't talk to either one of you. I was told not to. That Sarah absolutely did not like me. He kept me isolated from everybody. What does that say?
Release the recordings.
Yeah, the conversation recordings that I had with him over the last 3 days.
Jessica, can I ask a question real quick here? I'm going to ask a question. The recordings that you played earlier, what is Mike talking about that I was going to have to fight Hellbent Holler? I don't understand what he's talking about.
Apparently there's something. I was only half paying attention to him too. Apparently there is something coming down in which Hellbent Holler is going to prove that Barton's a hoaxer, and it's going to force you to take sides with Hellbent because Hellbent Holler is going to be under attack or something along those lines.
I'm so sick of all this intrigue and espionage and
Making a lot of this stuff up.
KGB crap.
I'm making stuff up. I'm making stuff up. I'll release the recordings then, Silver Bullet. That's fine. That's fine, Kay. I have no problem releasing the recordings. If you really want to put that out there, I can do that. Make me defend myself. Because the one thing that I really don't like is to be called a liar. Have I been manipulated? Yeah. Mike knows I hated it when Rhonda would sit there and call me a liar. But I'm not a liar. Manipulated, absolutely, into believing things that might not have been true, but absolutely believing it because I believed your son. That was my mistake. I believed the lies that he was telling me.
Whose son?
Silver Bullet. Kay.
Oh, okay. I mean, one of the things that I think
my daughter is sticking up for me.
One of the things I think that you could do, you know, this is just an opinion of mine, Jessica, is take some time off and reevaluate yourself. And, you know, you have a lot of passion. Just redirect it toward the paranormal and the shows, you know. Clough says something here. He says, families shouldn't be doing this. Family members die from health issues and accidents. Best to talk it out. Life is short. Life belongs to God, and He will call us one day. Don't leave with regrets. Clough, I think you and I need to do the same thing if we want to leave this world without regrets. I don't hold a grudge. I'm not attacking you. But if you want to make this end and go away, there's ways to do it. You don't have to keep on and on. I'm not talking about tonight. I'm not talking about just in general. I forgave you a long time ago. You know, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anybody. I just want to be left the hell alone and go on and with my life. There's a few people in this chat that are my favorite people, but I don't hate anybody. I don't. I'm not gonna die in hate. The one thing I can say is when I stand before my maker is that I don't hate. There's nobody that I hate. And I love you, Jessica, and I love you too, Dyer. Whether you cursed me or not, I know you kind of said things, you know, whatever. That's on you, not on me, brother. That's on you guys. If you
I already put in chat that I'm finished. I'm finished attacking you, PRT. As far as I'm concerned, it's history. I'm moving on. I'm moving out. I'm done with groups.
And I've been done for a while. I haven't been saying anything. I mean, I don't hold grudges, you know. A lot of mean things were said back and forth that need to be, you know. I will say this, Mike, and if you're listening to me, Mike, you have been in the heart of a lot of it. The common denominator for a lot of people's conflicts, you've been at the heart of it. But by the same token, you know, nobody made these people run over there and support him and in his crusade against PRT. A lot of these people had their own bones to pick with me for whatever they did, and it's all different reasons. None of them, I think, are really very good, you know. But you know, of course, I'm a little biased because it's me, you know. But I'm going to say I'm willing to forgive and forget and let anything go. My main thing is just getting the stories, getting the information, and just, you know, just laying it out there. That's my thing. And I think it's a sad thing that Jessica comes here, pours out her heart, tells her truths, what she believes to be the truth. And I think I believe you for the most part. Yeah, I can't verify everything, but I think you're a very upset person right now. And I think that there's going to be people that are going to support you and people that are going to attack you. But overwhelmingly, it looks like people are supporting you. And I think with that momentum, I really hate to see it. I wish you would just reconsider sticking around, and just doing your show. You were at my conference, Jessica, and I can say this about you at my conference. You were a person that had passion for this field. There's a lot of people that use this field as a fraud, as a grift, or as a what do you call it? Like they're phony, whatever. And you had a passion for it. You had a passion for what you believe. Not everybody's gonna,
Wait,
there's a lot of people that were there to party and just do whatever, but you were passionate about it. Now, whether or not you people believe you or not, it's your truth.
didn't you say that I was rude and standoffish?
Yeah,
And I think
no, you weren't rude. At the beginning, you were kind of standing away from everybody, and you were over there by yourself. Hold on one second. I think they're in the door panel. That's what I think they're at. But
yes,
you were kind of like off to yourself, and I walked over there to talk to you because you weren't really participating or being a part of what was happening. And so I thought, you were alone, but you had a passion for what you were doing.
because I have anxiety around large groups of people, and it was something that I had a very difficult thing to do. And which is why one of the things that I said was going to the conference was my way of trying to break out of my shell. That I spent so much money going to that conference, and I had such a good time meeting everybody, and then everything kind of fell apart afterwards. But yeah, all in all, but then I get constantly attacked by, especially like Abe, and being called a witch over and over again. And I don't even know anymore. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even care. I've been called a witch. I've been called a whore. I've been called all of these different names. And I don't know if these are things that people are just trying to say towards other people in the community because they're trying to start wars or start problems. And I don't even know where these come from anymore. And I honestly, I don't even care. The people that know me know who I am and know my morals and my ethics. But I don't know. It would take something big for me to decide whether or not I want to actually come back to this community.
Can I ask you this question, though? Does it really matter what people say or think about you? People say and think of horrible things about me. And I still go on the show, and I know that you have anxiety. I do too, believe it or not. People don't know that about me.
Coming on, doing certain shows, doing certain segments, it's different. And like I said, I don't even know if it's something that what I want to do in the future. I want to be outdoors. I want to be outside. I want to be doing the investigations. I want to be able to travel. Whether or not I do that and actually put that on a YouTube channel, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Do I want to be out hunting and fishing and camping and hiking and in locations where things happened and see the locations? I want to do that. But do I want to be on YouTube? I don't know. This is some very toxic community.
It can be.
And do people want to see a woman out there hunting and fishing and hiking and looking for paranormal and cryptid stuff? I don't know. I don't think people are ready for that. Honestly, I don't think they want to see it. They would rather see the guys out there doing it. They would rather see and hear the stories firsthand and stuff like that. I don't think there's room for it. I really don't.
You're telling me that nobody wants to see you doing the paranormal, going out there and visiting locations or finding evidence of what you and then retelling it on your show. Why would they not want that?
I don't think that it's going to be received. I don't think it's going to be received well.
Well, you can always rebrand. You can always rebrand. Like I said, I really think that there are just people out there that you just got to do what you got to do. I hate to see more women leave the field because, and no offense to anybody, but there's enough goofy rednecks running around out in the woods, with machetes and whatever. We got plenty of those.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to attack anybody else that I know. That was a dig at, and I don't want. I do respect Barton.
I'm not talking about one person. I'm talking about there's a million people that look like, they're Indiana Jones. Barton's just one of them. I'm talking about there's a bunch of them.
Hey, I personally really kind of like Indiana Jones. Come on. I wanted to be an archaeologist.
My wife loves Indiana Jones too. And I have a friend named Ben who kind of is an Indiana Jones guy. And I'm not attacking anybody. What I'm talking about is, and I'll be the first to say it, there's a million people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, same thing that they're doing. But I honestly think that we do need more females to go out into the field and do what you're doing, or to do the show that you're doing. I think that it takes tonight. What I saw from you took big balls. It took a lot of guts, and to come forward and to say what you said tonight, and to put the truth out there, and to open yourself up to be judged, to open yourself up to be attacked. Hell, everybody knows I've gone on my show and cried, and I've been made fun of. They made memes about me. They said all kinds of stupid things about me. They're not going to say it to my face, but they're going to say what they're going to say, and it's going to go round and round and make fun and whatever. I don't care. I have a passion for this, and I keep doing it because I have a passion for this. I can't answer every email. I can't answer everybody's story. The messenger thing on my thing fills up all the time on my phone. I can't answer all these people. I take every day I get up and I move the things over to files, and I still am getting my email filled up. And it's not all good. It's not all like, hey, I got a story for you. You know what people tell me? They tell me they hate me. I got a fat head, and they say that I'm ugly. And some of these people threaten my life. So, yeah, when I see you one day, watch what I do to you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I don't even care. I tell them I'll be at your mama's house. I really don't care. I don't. And that's the thing. You got to just have a, thicker skin to do this. And I know right now you're hurting, but don't make any decisions right now. I would take down, I did this on Rumble and on my other chat. I took all the stuff down where I talked about people going back and forth and all that. I took all that down. Take down the stuff that you feel is inappropriate, incorrect, whatever, and then just start over and making content, and open up, it'll open up channels for you. You know what I mean? To do, your research and what you believe in.
I just want to say, looks like Blonde and Booze was blocked. I don't know who blocked them.
Yeah, I that's why I came in here. Hello, Jesse. Nice to meet you. It's glad that you're turning to leave. And as you can see, you members of PTRT have come into the chat. They said they texted on their channel. Pretty sure it was Anthony. If you're truly saying what you are, everyone here will gladly go take a look at your content too. Josh tells us most of his live streams, he doesn't care who we watch. Just that if we're spurring hate, he'll tell us right now, get out. That's not allowed here. And Bonds and Blues wants to come in and talk too, but apparently they either can't see it or they can't get on. Like Crystal's here. She says if everything you're saying is true, they'll gladly tell some of their subscribers go check out your content, your content. Your chart. PTRT is constantly saying to leave all the mistakes in the past. He'll gladly bury the hatchet.
And look what Michelle McGuire says. She says, Jets, show the love and wear your ears proudly like I do. Love, hugs, and prayers for you. There's a lot of people that care about you. There's a lot of people that really like you, Jessica.
And I want to jump in and say thank you, Josh, because you literally have said and reiterated the same things I've said to her over the last couple of days. Her integrity, her passion, it all shows through what she does, how she moves, how she speaks. She definitely is a winner, in my opinion. And going forth, if she chooses to follow the cryptid community, I know you've got a lot of people that's backing you, girlfriend. a lot of people to help you. And like I said, I'm not far away. We can go out, we can hang out, we can do fun things, and I'm here to do it. And let's get you back into your passion. What you had fun doing this. That's
Yeah.
why you did it, and you're good at it. But anyway, that's all I want. I want to say thank you, Josh. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your words of wisdom. They're all spot on. And if anybody can say that, hey, I'm sorry for things that have happened between you and I just buried the hatchet and done with all that crap. I'm going to be the first one to stand up and say it to you. And anybody else listening, I don't, like you, I don't carry hatred in my heart because life is too short. And I have learned that in the hardest way over the last year, and how short life is and how quick somebody can be gone out of your life. And you know what? It's time to just heal, move forward. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's on to a new chapter, Jess. Let's make some fun.
You could literally start today. You can ask anybody that knows me in my everyday life. I have a short memory when it comes to mistakes. But I promise you, I have a long memory when it comes to what people have done for me. And I've actually been criticized by people for saying, you don't remember what they did? And I said, if I went back and I remembered all the things, the abuse and everything that's happened to me over the years, I'd hate the whole world. You can't hang on to every little mistake that somebody makes. I look at it like this. I treat people, and this is the truth, and I really do this. And thank you for the kind words, Shel. I treat people the way that they can be, the potential that I see who they can be or what they will be. And if you treat a man or a woman that way, then that will push them to be that. If you treat them the way that they are, they're going to stay the way they are. And everybody gets caught up in anger and falls into that trap of, treating people the way that they are and being like, well, this is a piece of crap. They're never going to change. You're going to be this, you're going to be that. Let God be the judge of that. It's not up to us to judge that person on how they be, whatever. Even after everything that's happened between me and Barton, I still lament the fact that we aren't friends. And I did reach out to Daryl Denton. He can attest to this, to try to let me talk to him. And the conversation had nothing to do with Mike. It was just me wanting to talk to Barton to tell him that I was not this fake account that he got mad about that day and went off on me. I don't know who made that account, but it wasn't me. I don't have time to troll and go into people's accounts and say all this ridiculous stuff. I have a job I do. I have a ranch. Running a ranch is a lot of work. And when you got cattle, you got all kinds of things. You don't have time to be fighting and fussing. The last thing I do is sit there and go into people's chats and argue and fight. That's nothing. That's not something I can do. And especially when you're trying to do a show and you're doing it every day and you got people's stories you got to do, you got to interview people, you got to bring people on. You don't have time for this. You don't have time for any of that. And so the last thing I want is enemies. I don't want to fight with people. I'll defend myself and I can do it viciously, just like the next person. But I don't want that. And I don't want to see another good person, because Jessica, I do think you have a good heart in your core, but I think you were doing what you thought was right by defending someone that you thought was right. And I've seen this many times. A good person goes down because they're defending someone who's not good. I've lost really good friends of mine because their brother or cousin or whatever, they'll defend that person, and I'll tell them that person is wrong. They may be a decent person, but in this situation, they're wrong. But like I said, everybody can be angry and be turned up, and somebody comes to you and tells you that there is a conspiracy against you and that these people are coming after you and you're going to fight with these people. That happened between me and Mike a long time ago, way back 2.5 years ago, before all this popped off. He told me, and this is the truth, he told me that Hellbent Holler was trying to join in some kind of an alliance against me. Well, I didn't know Mike that well. And my mistake was that I went on my channel and made myself look like a dumbass because I went in and I called Jesse, the B word or whatever. And I said the blue-haired bitch or whatever, or witch or whatever I called her. And I said something about her. And then Joe Doyle got on the phone with me, and I've admitted to this on my channel, and he ripped my ass. And he's like, how stupid are you to sit there being the personality that you are, and people watch you and pay attention to you, And for you to go on there and believe what this guy says, who the hell is this guy? You don't even know this guy, blah, 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 blah. And you know what I did? I took it like a man. I could have cussed back and been like, blah, 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 you know, and defended my position for what I believed, whatever, but there was nothing to defend. The bottom line was I was wrong. And I had to get on there on my show and apologize to Jesse Doyle for the shit that I said. And to this day, it hurts my heart that I said these ridiculous things. And going in on Jessica Cryptid Huntress, which I can't prove that was Mike. I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and say it was, because I'm not going to say something that I don't know 100% is true. But that was something that I really regret. And I regret the relationship that fell apart between me and Huntress. Do I think it was Mike? Yeah, I believe it was, but I'm not going to say it was. Now, the thing with Hub and Holler, I heard that with my own ears. He told me that. And so when you're in the wrong, sometimes you just got to suck it up, Buttercup, and be like, hey, you know, I wasn't correct in what I did and how I handled this situation. Mm-hmm. But Krista, hey, what's going on?
Hey, I just have a couple of things to say. And Jesse, I commend you for what you're doing. You know, we're not grudge holders, and we're just tired of the bullshit. And that's, to be bluntly honest. And I appreciate what you're doing. I truly do. And so I wanted to come on here and tell you that. And the second thing I wanted to tell you, I heard you talk about women going out into the paranormal field. You know, Brandy and myself and Natalie are out all the time. And you know what? People like that. You know, there's nothing wrong with women getting out into the field. So I 100% encourage you to do that. And you know what? If you're ever in Missouri, look us up. We'd be glad to take you out.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, I'm just, you know, and I got one more thing to say. I did the premiere of The Vanishing this weekend. I went down to Alabama. Brandy and I did, all four of us blondes did. And I had two different people, and I'm not going to name their names, two different people come up to me and apologize to me for believing the bullshit. And, you know, they were good friends of mine. And, you know, I know it took a lot for them to do that. And so if you're watching, know that we appreciate what you did. But I'm just saying, you know, the truth is coming out, and I commend you for doing this and reaching out to Josh, because you know what? Josh is a good guy. And, you know, if more people would see that, he's very forgiving, as you can see. And, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Just do it in the positive and the right direction. You know, go out to the woods, go do your thing, keep your channel up. And you know what? I have no problem supporting you. I'll share your channel. I'll share your stuff. We can be friends. I have no problem with that. You know, I'm like Josh. I'll forgive you. I'll forgive. I'll forgive. You know, we're good.
Well, like I said, this was pretty much my final show. I don't know. It's going to take a whole lot for me to even decide what I want to do at this point.
Well, if you'd like to reach out to me privately, you're more than welcome to, and we can talk woman to woman.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So and you know, Edith Gomez, she says on here, Jesse, look at all the people. She says, Jesse, look at all the people who support you, are here to support you, help you fight the good fight. You have a lot of people here that are there's a couple people in their knuckleheads saying dumb things, but they're drowned out.
They're minimal. They're minimal. Yeah. You know what? We don't, you know, and Josh, and I can speak for Josh and Ellie when I say this, we don't lose any sleep over this. We don't. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We're over it. You know, they can say whatever they want to say. Let them say it. Just be you. Be who you really, truly are, you know? And I understand that you want to think about it. But you know what? Think long and hard about it. And like I said, I'm happy to talk to you woman to woman privately.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just, I really do want people to understand that this was not something that I took lightly. I did struggle with this because I did care a lot. I care about my friends, and it's the last thing that I ever want to do.
I
but I couldn't
understand.
allow myself
It's
to
hard.
continue to be manipulated
Yeah, I
and taken
understand.
advantage of. So,
You know, here's the thing, Jesse. We all make mistakes. You know, let's just move forward from it, you know, as a community. Because you know what? We're all out there looking for the same thing. And let's just move forward together. That's all Josh and Ellie have wanted the whole time. Am I right, Josh?
Yeah. I mean, the thing that happened with that one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but when you made that video about the harassment, like I know exactly what that guy is about. I never said, though, that he didn't have cancer. I don't know if he did or not. What I say right now is that I didn't care what he had, that didn't give him the right to go around doing what he was doing to multiple women in this community. And I'm glad that you exposed him and said what needed to be said. We had been saying that for a while, and then he came after me because I wouldn't he said that I wouldn't support his GoFundMe, whatever. Like I wouldn't post it. I didn't know what it was about. You know, I kind of felt not easy about the guy because he had done some things and said some things to women, and it was good that it was brought to light about that guy.
oh yeah, it
But
was
I saw
disgusting.
when you made that video, I thought, you know, that's good, you know, that you're coming forward or whatever, regardless of how you felt about me or whoever, you know. I thought that it was a good thing that you did that. And now today, you coming out and just speaking out about about your feelings, you know, about this situation. And I think that it takes a lot of courage. It does. And you know, Mike is
I
going to
agree.
be upset. He's got a lot of people that support him, you know, and they're going to be like, oh, well, she's lying, whatever. And you're going to have to endure the slings and arrows. So, folks, you got to understand something. If you're in the chat right now, there's 190 people here that are in the chat. I don't know how many are watching besides that, but this person has come forward to say what she has to say, and she is going to be attacked, and she is going to have to endure that. So I would ask for everybody to be cordial, and if you don't believe, don't believe. But if you do believe, then please say a prayer for her, and that she can get through this and make the right decisions moving forward with herself when it comes to the community at large and everybody that's in her life.
Yep.
That's my
And Jesse, here's the thing. We will all support you 100%. All of us will support you. You know, you're taking steps in the right direction and people are seeing the truth. And that's all we ever wanted. You know, there was never no conspiracy between me and Josh and Nellie. Never. And Melissa, never. You know, people are seeing the truth. And like I said, I had 2 people come up to me this weekend in Alabama apologizing for believing the bullshit. And that's the honest to God's truth. And people are seeing that. And, you know, just do the right thing, man. Just do the right thing. And like I said, you know, we will all help you. We will all support you. And if you want to talk woman to woman, Wolf has my number. You have my permission to give it to her, Wolf.
Yeah. And, you know, months ago, I don't know how long ago it was, month or 2 ago, 2 months ago, you reached out to me, Jessica. I didn't ignore you. I answered, you know, and I talked to you. And, you know, you came on the show that one time and it didn't go well. You and Blake, I'm still not a fan of Blake because I think he inserted himself, you know, but I want to say this. I don't care what he says or thinks or does. I don't care what any of my detractors think or care or say what does. And some people are coming like, are we going to go to the show now? Look, guys, hey, you know, if it
I think
goes,
they're waiting for you on the other channel.
yeah. But the thing is, if it goes, it goes. This is something very important because you have a person reaching out that's in pain that needs to be heard. And this could be something that could help I'm not going to say this alone is going to heal the community, but this could help to heal this community. I think that we all need peace and everybody's weary and they're tired. And,
Absolutely.
you know, the conversation that you played a couple, you know, an hour ago, whatever, a couple of minutes of Mike talking about it, I think it's very telling because, you know, at that point, I didn't really know what to believe. But then, you know, you hear it with your own ears, him there plotting and scheming and still trying to keep this war going or whatever. And at this point in the game, I could care less about who's winning or losing. I just want to do my show. He says my numbers are going down in the chat. Of course they are. That's not a secret. We used to pack the house, 500-600 people in the chat. But guess what happened? I aired out the laundry, and this is my fault. I aired out the laundry that was happening, trying to get people to understand what was going on, how we were being attacked and whatever, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line was this. People don't want to hear that. People don't want to come to the show and hear about, oh, you're fighting, because like I said, at the end of the day, they want to kick back and listen to the show or watch the show, whether it's ours or yours or Blondes and Booze or Helbin Holler or whoever's involved in all this. And they don't want to hear about that stuff. They want to feel good. And when they walk away from the show, they'll be like, man, I learned something. I got to hear some encounters. Maybe they're going through something. Other people have had what happened to me happen to them. They don't want to walk away feeling like crap and weighted down because somebody dumped their negativity on them. And so at the end of the day, I had to make a decision. Do I continue fighting and defending, or do I just move on and let the chips fall where they may? And now our numbers are going back up. And it's no secret that we don't have the chats we used to have. But I could tell you this. At the end of the day, I'm happy with the direction the show is going. And I made peace with a lot of people that were from the beginning of this a long time ago, and I don't care. I don't speak about those people. You know, I notice people trolling and using my name or using fake whatever. Can't control that either. All I can do is control what I can control. I was talking to Tony Merkel one day, and he said, you know, they're in my chat. They're saying things. He goes, I ignore it. They say something about you. I ignore it. And the same thing with Marzulli and everybody else that I'm friends with. You know, that's the bottom line. You just got to go on. You can't control what these people are going to say and do and think, but you can control what you do, what you say, and what you think.
Absolutely.
And that's my thing. I'd hate to see you just, you know, not just, I don't want to see you just give up. I don't want to see that.
No. And that's the thing, you know, that people don't realize about Wolf, you know, like, you know, like he's very loyal to the people that, you know, do the right thing. And, you know, throughout this whole ordeal, Wolf and Nelly have had mine and Brandy's backs the whole time. And, you know, when he says something to you, he freaking means it. So if he's telling you, you know, to keep going and, you know, he support you, I guarantee you he freaking will. You won't find more loyal people than the Turners. And I promise.
And this guy, D True, says I threw him off of my channel because he wanted to tell me who I could watch. I never tell anybody who they could watch.
I've heard you say that before.
No.
But I really don't want to go down this road.
Hey, if I said it, then remind me, because I never told anybody not to watch whoever they could watch. I've said this many times. I say it almost every episode. Watch whoever you want to watch. But watch who you watch. That's it, period. I never told this guy.
Can I address a comment really quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, somebody's great.
Sure, Josh. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know. Yeah, it looks just like mine here, you know. Well, if I said that, D-Truth, then so what? So be it. But I remember you starting trouble on my channel.
That's fine.
He started trouble on our channel, so you're blocked, dude. Good luck.
Go ahead, Krista.
Whoever.
Okay, so Grace asks, hey, Krista, are you against Barton? So let me tell you about, as far as Barton, you know, he has said some awful things about me, and I was very, very close to him and Letitia. And so am I against Barton, the things that he said? Yes. But do I pray for them every day? Absolutely, I do. You know, I don't hate them. I don't have hate. I don't hate Mike. You know, I pray for him. And, you know, do I like Barton? No. So if that answers your question, I hope it does. But I've lost all respect for Barton.
All right. I think I do have to get up early for work. I have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, and since I know I probably won't be getting any phone calls all night from Mike, I'm going to take advantage of the sleep that I'm going to be able to get tonight. So,
well, I appreciate you coming on on this and reaching out to Josh and stuff. I'm telling you, we'll stand behind you, Jessica, 100%, all of us.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's gonna, like I said, I have a lot of praying to do over the next.
Yep. And you know what? That's what we've been doing for all of you guys the whole time, and prayer works. It works 100%.
And I got to say this too. I don't care what this D-Truth guy, you want me to apologize for blocking you. If I block you, there's a reason. And personally, first of all, I don't block anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the person that blocks anybody. I don't block you. I think I've blocked 2 people over the whole time we've had the show. It's the moderators that'll block you. So you had to have said something or did something.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing too, Bat Mom, I don't know what your deal is. You can keep fighting and hating and being against me. I don't know why you continue to attack us. I don't have a problem with you. You go on and you do you, and I'm going to do me, and I'm always going to be me. And you can always hate me, and you're welcome to hate me. Jesus said, hey, they hated me first. I'm not Jesus, so I'm easier to hate. So you want to hate me, go ahead. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. And there's people, it's going to clash because there's going to be people in this chat. We are from a war here, okay? And I'm not talking about war with Tommy guns. I'm talking about like gangsters. I'm talking about we had wars of words with this individual. Mm-hmm. I'm here to support her and tell her I don't know 100% that everything she says is correct, but I feel in my heart that she's being truthful. And so I want there to be peace. Yep. I want there to be peace, right? That's it. Yes, Bat Mom, you do attack me. On occasion, you do say something. You were saying it to the chat earlier. Bat Mom, I don't care. I don't have a problem with you. I don't know why you're in this. I don't know, and I don't care. Club, I don't care. When I first started seeing this, I didn't know if you were the one or what was going on, but I know that Jessica's just saying what she feels is the truth. All right, I'm not here to do anything or pressure anybody. I gotta go. I gotta run, and my people, maybe they'll still watch me, even though it's just, But Bat Mom says I don't do liars. Well, I don't either. Okay, so that makes 2 of us. At least we have common ground. We found a common ground there. How about that?
Yep.
Everybody else, Michelle McGuire, I do know that you've never been a big fan of mine, but I do appreciate the kind words, and you and Shell both. I know you're not my biggest fan, but supporting your friend here, and it shows me a lot. Yep. And even you, Bat Mom, it did show me a lot that you, Clough, go back to the earlier comments there. She did say some things, and I'm not going to get into it, But like I said, if you attack me, I'm going to defend myself. I'm not going to sit up here and get whipped. Yep. But I'm not going to come in and just destroy somebody for any little minor infraction. That is a reputation that I gained from those early problems with some of those people. And those people still buzz around and cause issues. It's not all Mike, I'm telling you. And it's not all Barton. There's other people from the old days still at play here to keep popping back up and stirring the pot to try to make everybody fight because they have a vested interest in that. I apologize right now to anybody and everybody in this chat who may not like me. You may think I'm a bad guy, but I invite you all to come to Paranormal Roundtable and watch the show for the entertainment and for the stories and for the guests and for all the fun things that we do. You're welcome to come and watch. And if you will actually just be a part of the chat and not argue and fight and not be judgmental and not be angry and let go of the past. The hardest thing you'll ever do. And I'm going to jump off here. If Jessica would allow me this.
I don't have a choice. Go ahead.
You can tell me, hey, shut up and go do your show. But you're being polite here. I'm on your channel. But here's the thing. When people come to me, they tell me about near-death experiences, the one thing that scares the hell out of me, or it doesn't scare me now, but they would tell me that they were going to hell. The ones where they were going to go to hell. And every time I interview anybody, when I get their story or they come on the show, I always ask them, have you had a near-death experience or an alien abduction? Because I think it goes hand in hand with whatever happens. But they always talk about how they're asked about the hate in their heart or their lack of forgiveness. That scares the crap out of me because I'm telling you, man, if I would have died years ago, I wouldn't have been able to stand before God in judgment and say that I didn't hate. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to say, hey, if they would have asked me, do you hate this person? Do you not forgive this? Yeah, I would have to say yes. You can't lie to God. You can even lie to yourself and convince yourself of your BS, but you can't lie to God. I had to sit back and go, I have a problem with anger with certain people, sometimes jumping the gun and saying things like I did with Jessie Doyle, and she wasn't the only one. There's a few other people that I went half cocked in on because I was so sick of getting attacked and so sick of whatever. But that's still not an excuse, because they don't know that you just had it out with these other people and that you're at the end of your rope, so you jump it on them.
Right.
All they know is that you just took a shot at them, and Jessie Doyle had every right to, or Joe Doyle had every right to defend his wife. Hell yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it like a man, and I took that chewing, and I've taken some chewings from people. And when I've negotiated with people, and did I want to be nice and be friendly and say, hey, let's let it go, let's bury the hatchet? Not always. But they had their right to say, hey, you did something wrong to me. And even if it was 10% to 90%, I still have to own up to that 10%.
Yep.
Right? I'm not saying that's what this is. I'm saying we were going back and forth. We were lobbing grenades back and forth. I apologize for my part. And I appreciate the apology you gave me, Jessie, and it meant a lot to me to tell me that. And you said it twice. And I really appreciate that when we talked. And I had no intentions on coming on tonight and saying anything, but I just want you to know that my heart goes out. I feel really bad about the way things went. And I hope you reconsider and that you do get your emotions together, get yourself together, and know that you're a strong, powerful person. Spiritually, you really are. And, and I apologize if your story is the truth. And I apologize for rejecting it out of hand because, part of it was anger. And, maybe I didn't believe it or not. It doesn't matter. I shouldn't have said what I said about it because I don't do that. Not normally ever do that. And D-Truth, he says Mike never had a problem with me being in chat. It was Josh had a problem. Then so be it. But D-Truth, I remember you saying some things. I'm not going to get into it, okay? You're not welcome to post in my chat until the moderators decide, and I'm not going to make that decision. If you want to come back and watch the show, you're welcome to. Everybody criticizes me. That's completely their right. It's part of the American way. You deal with it. I'm here, Jessie. If you need anything, if you just...
I'm here too.
Whatever.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I got to say, too, the conversation we had earlier, you didn't bash Mike to me. You really didn't say a whole lot. You just said, hey, if you want to know, go watch the show. That's pretty much what she said. She didn't call me up and go, hey, you got to come and check it out, so I'm talking shit. No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. It was just her, basically, and you apologized, and I felt like it came from the heart. You know what I mean? And I didn't know exactly what was up, but, I see that you're being sincere and, and I see Dana. I know Dana's not one of my biggest fans, obviously. Dana, I forgive you, too. I mean, I got mountains of stuff you've said and done. I don't care. If you're willing to leave me alone, I'm willing to leave you alone. And I even asked people to quit responding to you, Dana, and it wasn't anything other than, keeping it going. That's it. I just wanted it to stop.
Absolutely.
And if you were a good friend of Jessie to helping her out through all of this, because sometimes you do need a support group, especially when people do and say things that are inappropriate. And then you're afraid to come forward because you feel like nobody's going to believe you. I know what that's like. I know what that's like.
Yep. And Jessie, I hope that you and I can be friends. I truly mean that.
Well, and I appreciate that, but it's going to take a whole lot for me to trust anybody right now.
Get it?
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you both for being on. I appreciate it. You guys have a great night.
Yep, you too. Good night.
Right. Good night.
Good night.
So, this went on for much longer than I had anticipated. But I do appreciate the support that I've been shown. Like I said, if anybody had any other questions, let me know. But otherwise, like I said, this is going to be This is going to be my last for a while, for a long while. If at all I come back to do anything, I am I'm pretty much I at this point I don't know. It's going to take a lot. I need to do some prayers. I need to do some contemplating, weighing my options for my future. And I hope that the bad taste that has been left in my mouth hasn't been completely left in everybody's mouth for the paranormal and cryptid community, because there are people out there that are doing good research, doing good investigations. And the investigations that Mike was doing they were good. They were from his heart. He is a good investigator. It's the lies and the manipulation that needed to be addressed. So that being said, I'd like to say thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all again for being here, the support. And like I said, if you hit the notifications and you see something pop up on my channel over the next day or so, you know it's because I have posted the conversations. If I'm not attacked, then I won't post those conversations. Please leave Dana alone. She's been a huge support for me. She has been nothing but a support for me. Please don't attack her. I won't stand for it. Everybody is entitled to their opinions, but you don't need to attack. Please. I'm signing off. Like I said, if you get a notification from my channel over the next couple of days, it's because I've posted the video recordings of the conversations. Have a great night. Have a great week. I hope everybody has a better week than what I'm going to be facing. God bless you all. Good night.